What's going on YouTube? Darksword255 here, where the numbers may be randomly generated, but the content itself is not. And we are talking some Raid Shadow Legends today, guys. So I'm going to post a screenshot. I am going to be working on seeing if I can do more damage on on Nightmare Hydra. So I'm trying to do just more damage so our teams can, our clan can get, just more points, so we have a higher chance of winning better rewards in Clash. I was looking at the optimizer at different builds for Teox. He's one of my favorite champions in this game, and I went ahead and I actually reorganized my team, and the results will astonish you guys. So if we're looking at the damage right now, this is my original Hydra team. This right here is my original Teox Nightmare team. So we have Teox in the lead, Sulfurion, we have Ugo, Nekmo, Croc, and we have Shamal. Now the benefits of using each of these champions is we have Teox, who does an unbelievable amount of damage, and obviously since he is the unity leader, the leader guy for the faction. I always call them banner lords, but they're not. Like, I know they're lizard men, but I digress, right? So we have Teox here doing an unbelievable amount of damage. We have Sulfurion, who's putting a ton of HP burns down there. He's healing, and he also is a revive. We have Ugo here, who is doing decreased defense and also healing and block buffs. We have Nekmo, who's speeding up the team, putting leech down, decreased speed. We have Croc over here, who's just kind of doing his best. Honestly, he's just okay. He's just okay. He does he's an HP nuker basically, but I have him built in this team relatively slow, so I wanted to either gear this guy or replace him. Obviously I don't have a better lizard. I'm not that level of privileged. And then we have Shamal, who is for the head of torment, speeding up the team. So with this, we have Teox right here. I ended up, this is already like the newly built versions, because I rebuilt this entire team, and I added some different champions in it. So the new team for Ultra Nightmare, I actually gotta name this. Teox Nightmare. I keep saying Ultra Nightmare because I keep getting confused. So this team right here, I ended up taking out Shamal, because as much as I love Shamal, I figured that I would still be able to brutalize their team even more by relying on Lady Mikage's ally attack, relying on Teox's ally attack, then poisons. Oh my god. Sulfurion with his burns, speeding everybody up, and I have my Lazarious built as a support, so he is doing a lot of he is putting down block damage, block buff, sorry, and buff blocking. Oh my god, I'm like buff protection and block buffs that he's putting down. Also, he's increasing the attack of all the champions. So obviously not everybody's gonna have this build, but if you have a Teox, I mean, to be fair, right? No, never mind. It's nothing to be fair. This team is savage, right? But Teox is my favorite. It's one of my favorite champions in this game. How I have him built, so I have my boy built in a 9-piece protection. So when he is putting down his block buffs, that they have a 75% chance of being protected. He also does put down a strengthen and increase attack, which is important, but we wanted to make sure that none of his buffs were being stolen. And you know, we can use him. I'm also using him in arena, so a little bit of both. He has 300 speed, 561 accuracy. Those are kind of the two important things. Obviously HP is important too, but you know, you want him to be fast and you want him to have high accuracy, because again, I'm not just using him for as a support in Hydra. I'm using him in Arena. Now moving on to, let me see if I can find him. My Sulfurion. I tried my best to get him in at least a 4-piece Merciless, so he has a chance of randomly putting one of his abilities on cooldown, and that only ability is his A2, which is his HP burn, right? So there's a 30% chance that he can use his HP burn, and his HP burn is amazing. Places HP burn debuff on all enemies for 3 turns and instantly activates any HP burn debuffs on all champions and places a shield. And then the shield can be up to 25%, 25,000. It's amazing. He's awesome. And this is also like, his passive is also like spectacular. But what I did was I put him in Merciless. Feral just helps with his accuracy. I was really trying to get him to 500 accuracy, so he would have a, what is it? I think it's a 5% buff. 5% chance for the Head of Mischief to strip him, but unlucky. We didn't quite get there. If I level up this artifact a little bit more, I'll be there, but I'm out of resources to do that. I wish I could get him a little bit faster. He's at 274. He has plenty of accuracy. So I love this champion. He's so awesome. Moving on to my boy Teox. We have him in, I wanted to try my best to get him in Merciless. I don't have the right Merciless gear. So we kept him in lethal, and I also put him in cruel. So he's just basically doing a lot more. He's ignoring 25% damage on top of all of his other abilities, and he's also getting an increased attack percentage. So I have him 250 speed, almost 300% crit damage, which is immaculate, and he doesn't need accuracy, which is easy. So you really want to build this guy with as much speed, as much attack, and obviously crit damage. And moving on to my boy Nekmo. So my boy Nekmo, I ended up also regearing. So I regeared my Teox. Sorry, I regeared my Teox. I regeared my Sulfurion, and I also regeared my Nekmo. So I have Nekmo in Provoke. Now this just gives him a chance, a 30% chance of landing a Provoke, which is great because Lady Mikage, her A1, gives the opportunity for Nekmo to hit twice, which gives him more of a chance to land a Provoke. It's not necessary. You could change this out and have Cursed if you want, just for the more AoE damage with that Hex gives you. I don't have good Hex gear, so Provoke is what it is. Now I wanted to have him be in a 4-piece protection. I just wasn't able to get it with the speed and the stats I was aiming for. So I have him relatively fast at 285. Would love for him to be faster, but with the Provoke gear that I have, this is the best that I was able to do. 400 accuracy, so he's landing all of his debuffs on all the heads. Now moving on, and this is what I ended up doing. So I think that this combo in Chimera, in Hydra, this is an absolute insane combo. Lady Mikage is so amazing in just her A1. Giving a chance for an ally Shadowkin faction to attack is ridiculous. Like, it is so unbelievably strong. So I actually ended up regearing her as well, because I also use her in, so I use her in Chimera, I use her in Hydra, and I also use her in Arena. So what I did is I actually increased her speed. I increased her speed to 322, and her accuracy is 523. I can't read. I mean, I just basically made her as fast as possible, and I also put as much accuracy. You know, she has 65k HP. I wish it was a little bit higher, but this was, for the speed, this was as best as I could have gone. I don't even have a relic on her. Who else? Oh yeah, Ninja is the last guy, the last person. So my Ninja, I wish I could have gotten him in like a better sets, but I was mainly aiming for the stats. The stat requirement here. I would love him to be in lethal or in merciless. You know, there's so many options that I would like him to be in, but this is just as best as I could do. 6600 attack. I built him slow on purpose because you're getting so many ally attacks that you don't need to build him fast. And I would rather him be a little bit slower than have him be fast and not have the same amount of damage. He has 320 crit damage, which is absolutely insane. 400 accuracy. I use him in Chimera. I use him in, now I'm obviously using him in Hydra. And really leveraging, like I said, Lady Mikage and then Ninja's, Ninja's ability. Now, the great thing about Ninjas is A1 puts down the decreased defense, which is amazing. And I have him in Nature's Wrath. I'm jumping around a little bit, obviously here. You know what I was actually thinking? I was thinking about changing Teox's, instead of having Soul Reap, changing it to Crushing Rend. But it's only a 2-star, so I don't really. I mean, if this was like a 6-star, this would be absolutely insane. This would be an insane pick. But I think I'm just gonna keep it with Soul Reap, just because when I get the heads low, there's a chance for it to execute. I mean, it's a very low % chance, but it can still execute. And I have Teox with a Talon. I don't have anything really better. Ninja, I have this guy right here. I actually changed out, saw a video, who was it? The content creator's name is escaping me. I'm so sorry. They did a test of all the different relics for Ninja. If I do this, he's like a pirate. Bronco, thank you. It's Bronco. Thank you, Zach. It's Bronco who did a bunch of tests with this. So we have we could actually make Ninja a little bit better, but again, I don't have the resources to upgrade these relics any more than I already do. And Lady Mikage doesn't have a relic. So Sulfurion, this is kind of, again, the best I could do with relics, because relics just makes everything just that much better. And imagine, dude, if I could get this even higher. Like I have this on him, which is absolutely insane. Increase the wearer's crit damage by 10% for each enemy whose HP is less than 50. So you, like, when the Hydra heads get less than 50, you're just absolutely slapping guys. Let's go ahead and jump over to the team setup here, guys. Okay, so what I did is I have Teox's, and I wish I could fine tune this a little bit more. I have Teox's his A2 actually turned off. You just do a little bit more damage if you have it turned off in the presets. Normally it's better to, if you're gonna manual this or just start it off, have Teox do his A2 twice to start, adding an additional 10% damage on him, and then leave it off for the rest of the rest. You're really gonna be having a lot more damage because of this ally, like having your ally join because of this attack. Then I have Lady Mikage. She is leading with her attack, her ally attack, and we're doing that because she's the fastest on the team. We want her to not use her A2, which is extending buffs, until after all those buffs are down. So that's why we're leading with this. Make sure, I made the mistake a couple times when I was testing this, not turning off the metamorphic. Yeah, I don't know why that was so difficult for me to say. Turning that off. Because what happens is if you don't turn it off for both of the mythics, they'll transform, which we don't want. Ninja, we want him to be using this as much as possible. Obviously Scion Slash is great as well, because then it lowers the cooldown of this, and then obviously when he's ally attacking with Lady Mikage and also having that chance to attack with Teox, he's putting down that decreased defense. And this is a little bit interesting. So I've actually been doing this quote unquote wrong. So normally how I have this set up is I always have his A3 go first and then his A2. But if you set it up with his A2 going first, you have a 1 turn chance faster to drop this decreased speed and leech down 1 turn faster, because this gives you an extra turn, basically. So instead of this being a 3 turn, it's a 2 turn. So you're just landing your slows a little bit more. And again, what I'm doing is I'm prioritizing on Lazarious. I am prioritizing his block buffs and block debuffs. as well as I see if I had another mythic book, this would be great. So then it'd be a 1 turn, it'd be 3 turns instead of 4. But you know, where's the credit card? Am I right, guys? Where's the credit card? Anyways, guys, so that is the team setup. It's pretty easy. We want, obviously, I mean, he's gonna be prioritizing this. I don't need this is the only other attack he can do, and the computer is pretty good about utilizing that. So that's the team setup, guys. It's pretty easy. And you know what? I forgot to mention that I also did change. My friend Zach sent me a video saying that, hold on, let me go to Teox here. That actually you do more damage with Helm Smasher than you do with War Master. So I went ahead and I changed my Ninja and my Teox to have Helm. Actually, I already had Helm Smasher on Teox, but I went ahead and changed it, my Ninja to Helm Smasher. And like I said, guys, the results from upgrading these stats, adding, like, changing this team around is astonishing, guys. It's astonishing. So this is what is absolutely insane, guys, right? So if you saw the first screenshot, we did 174 million damage last week. This week, we did 274 million damage. So we increased our damage to Nightmare Hydra by 100 million damage, guys. We increased it by, and so in full transparency, we ran this team 4 times. We ran it 4 times, and well, I guess, sorry, not 4, 5. I ran all my multi battles with this. 4 out of the 5 times we went to the turn limit, the 1,000 turn limit. What's even more insane, if you're looking and comparing the clan boss turns to last week, we did the same amount of clan boss turns, but did 100 million more damage, guys. 100 million more damage. And what's also amazing, but we can go ahead and see here, guys, when I was doing this run, and this is just, I wanted to test it out. You can see how much damage Ninja is doing. He's doing almost 1.6 million damage on a decapitated head. Absolute insane damage numbers. And also Teox with his A1 is doing 600,000 damage per attack. So he's hitting 2 times, doing 600,000 damage per hit, doing 1.2 million on a decapitated head. That is why we're able to pump out this insane level of damage. Now, obviously, going back to the team, if I was able to have Teox and Ninja in a higher awaken status, we could have different awakens on them. We could have Crushing Rend, for example, like I said, and that would exponentially increase the damage that is dealt to this boss. Sorry, to Hydra. But obviously, I don't have that. I don't have that. So this is the best. And this is, like I said, it's 100 million more damage than what what I was able to do. And last week was the most damage I've ever been able to do to Hydra. So not only did I peak last week, but I was able to exponentially increase the damage just by changing some stuff around, reorganizing the team. I'm super happy with this. I love Teox, guys. Let me know, guys, if you guys have a Teox, if you're using a Teox in either your Chimera, if you're using him in your Hydra, what teams are you using? I would love to know, guys. Let me know down in the description. If you like this kind of video with me playing on my main, you know, kind of testing out different teams. I know that this team is not necessarily accessible to everybody, but I do think it's still fun to mess around and like min-max my account as much as I can. It also obviously benefits my clan a lot, you know, especially since I haven't locked in these keys yet. I know when I lock in these keys, I will be pushing our clan just with Nightmare, I'll be pushing our clan to 7.4 billion damage, and then, you know, the rest of my keys, I'll probably push us to above this threshold right here, which is, I mean, for one player, I'm like really enthusiastic about. I mean, not as good as my boy Zach over here, but it's okay. We can only strive for greatness here. So let me know, guys, down in the description, in the comments, what you think of this video, and I will see everybody in